Yeah, about those bikies. How surprised are you that the bikies are still meeting in such great numbers?
Oh, I'm not surprised at all. I mean, many millions of dollars, arguably hundreds of millions of dollars, and are at stake here. We knew that this would be a long, drawn-out battle. We knew that they wouldn't just go away. But I'm very happy with the results so far. I mean, the results speak for themselves, and we've had, say, a 40% reduction in armed robberies on the Gold Coast. And I'll just check my figures. A 23% reduction in break-in enters, and also a 20% reduction in assaults and violent crime on the Gold Coast. That's fantastic.
Is that because of the extra police numbers that you dispatched there, or do you think they're all from bikie crime?
Extra police, proactive policing measures.
But are they two separate issues is what I'm trying to get at?
They're totally connected. I mean, why do people commit armed robberies? Well, one of the biggest reasons is to feed a drug habit. So if you've been the subject of a violent crime, if you've been held at gunpoint at a service station, some poor attendant, if your child has, if you have gone home one day and, pardon me, found that grandma's necklace has been stolen and the house has been robbed, I mean, those are the impacts from people who sell drugs and distribute them around our community. They're quite pervasive and far-reaching.
You said 3 years and the laws are going to be gone.
Well, no, let's be totally accurate. We have actually built in that within 3 years there must be a review. My preferred position, unequivocally, is the law should go. Because, in case people are sitting at home doubting that, I'm the guy in 2012 who was asked about Barry O'Farrell's laws about people wearing their colours in public. And at that time, I sort of, it's on the public record, said that I didn't want to go down that road. And I didn't. The only reason...
But do you think there's still going to be a problem? Will the problem be solved in 3 years?
Well, I'm hoping that it will be. And I'm determined, more importantly, I'm determined that we will do everything we can to make this a safer state. Because we're not going to go the same route as, say, New South Wales. I mean, every sort of morning, it seems to me, Matt, I'm there, just stepping out of the shower, I'm talking to my wife, and turning on the TV, it might be ABC 24 or commercial stations, and yet another gangland drive-by shooting in Sydney. That's what I don't want to see come into Queensland. And we saw that, though. We saw an incident in Robina in 2012 where an innocent lady was shopping on, I think it was a Sunday, as I recall, or a Saturday afternoon. She was there shopping there, minding her own business, and was caught up in the crossfire between two gang members. I don't want that happening in Queensland.
Can I ask you what happens, though, after 3 years to the people who perhaps are jailed for the 15 to 25 years under the VLAD Act? Do they get let out of solitary confinement?
Well, let's just deal with it. There's two different issues in what you've asked there, essentially.
But it's the people doing hard time, the 23 hours...
If the law's there, if they're there and convicted under a law, they're there. And that's a penalty, by the way.
So they'll stay in for the 50... Even though the laws have gone, they'll stay in the pink jumpsuits, the 23 hours, etc.
That would be my understanding. Now, let's deal with...
OK, so if the laws are gone then, and presuming you're saying they're staying in the solitary confinement, wouldn't they then be subject to what would be the existing laws of parole? And so they would have to be let out?
Well, I'd like to deal with this issue about the solitary confinement, because there's a lot of nonsense being spoken about this. I mean, the clear advice from the correctional services people and the police is that these individuals, when they go into jail, actually do seek and actually get away with, I'm afraid to say, if they're not sort of segregated in this way, they actually continue their criminal enteprises. Plus...
But can I just press you on this point? Because no one's been told what happens to these people after 3 years.
Well, that's...
If the laws aren't there, then only the existing laws will apply to them, and parole would then be an option for these people you wanted to be put away for 15
That is a
to 25.
matter for the Parliament in 3 years' time when the laws are reviewed. But I just want to deal with this issue about the solitary confinement. These measures have been put in place because they undertake their activities within jail to control things going outside. But
at Woodford, though, they're all let out on their daily exercise in groups relating to their gangs.
Well, can I just...
Why would you do that?
Can I just continue? The idea is to try and stop the management of external activities going on in the community. Plus also, and this is the important point I was trying to get to, they also seek to recruit other people in jail. And we're not going to have them try and get other people into the gangs. I make the point, this is from the police, since 2007 in Queensland, it's estimated that the numbers of people in these gangs have increased by 50%.
Okay,
so it's now time to make a stand.
If I could just nail you down, though, in 3 years' time, when they're subject to parole because these laws have been taken off the statute books, if you get your way, you're saying you'll have to go back to the Parliament, change the laws again. There'll be more legislation to keep them in their solitary.
What I'm saying, Matt, is that is a matter that is a hypothetical for 3 years' time.
But it's a very real situation, because you're saying in 3 years the laws that held them there.
The justification for the laws that we have right now are this: we have criminal gangs, and the existing laws have not been able to deal with the situation because they have grown in size and they've grown in activities. We didn't ask these people to go and basically riot in the streets on the Gold Coast on the 27th of September. Nor is it... No, hell,
fair
please.
enough, but maybe I can ask you in a different way.
Really,
what about the restrictions on the trades, having to have the criminal checks? Will that lapse after 3 years?
Matt, I would like to not deal with hypotheticals. I'd like to deal with the here and now and why the laws are in place. Okay, I can't answer for what Parliament will do in 3 years' time.
But you're the Premier. You must have an idea of what was going to happen after the 3 years.
Matt, I'm happy to talk about what's happening here and now. I'm telling you what...
I just don't know what people are going to do if they want to become an electrician in 3 years' time. Will they still have to get a criminal check?
I'm telling you what people will need to do right here and now. And the answer is this: that criminal gangs, on the advice of the Australian Crime Commission and the Australian Federal Police and the CMC and the Queensland Police Service, are actually involved in terrible criminal activities across this state. Extortion, drug manufacture, distribution, and that is a fact. It is not the Queensland Government's view, it is the view of those who seek to protect us. Therefore, under the legislation we've created, a number of organisations have been declared. The people you just showed to air are members of a criminal gang. You've asserted that yourself in your own program, and it's the advice of all those agencies that they are involved in these unlawful activities.
Can I bring you back to the here and now then?
Yeah, well, please, if I may finish. This is a complex issue. You've asked me to come on this show a few times, and I want to explain it this evening for Queenslanders. Nobody else but those declared criminal gangs, and they were declared on the advice of the Police Commissioner on the basis of all that criminal intelligence from those agencies that I've mentioned. That's how they were declared. Contrary to what those individuals are asserting freely in the media at the moment, which is spin, and it's designed to scare Queenslanders. Contrary to what they're saying, the Girl Guides, lawful motorcycle clubs, Zonta, Probus, diggers on Anzac Day, they're not caught by these laws.
Okay, Anzac Day, perhaps I could take you to what Superintendent McNilan was saying there. No action against bikies on Anzac Day. That kind of armistice, how does that sit with you?
No, that's not what he was saying at all. What he was saying to you, I believe...
Wouldn't be seeking to take any action on Anzac Day?
Well, he was saying, no, I didn't hear that at all. I'd put it to you like this, that the police clearly have a discretion. If a group of criminal motorcycle gang members met somewhere on Anzac Day for the purpose of planning something to do with drugs or distribution or some sort of criminal activity, and the police cottoned onto that, well, I'm pretty sure they'd use the laws. If, however, they spotted a criminal motorcycle gang member happening to bump into one or two others on Anzac Day, I'm sure they'd probably be pretty sensible
for
at that.
instance, or at a
exactly.
pub.
But I'd say this. It's the same sort of thing. It's the same sort of argument. If the police saw someone they knew who'd committed an armed robbery on Anzac Day, a murderer, do you think they'd be an armistice?
No,
I don't think so. Well, that's again the ridiculous nature of some of the things that these individuals are putting up.
Okay,
but can I go back to this thing about licensing?
I'm sorry, I'm told I'm out of time. Unfortunately, we're live, so we've got to stick to the...
Well, yeah, Matt,
perhaps we could get you on again.
Well, it deserves
I've got lots more questions I would love to ask you as well.
A fulsome explanation about the here and now, not 3 years' time, what these laws will do right now. And the bottom line is they're going to make Queensland a safer place.
Okay,
That's what it's all about.
Thank you very much for coming in, Premier. I do appreciate it.